Good morning, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you doing today?
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm doing pretty good. And how is your day going on, ma'am?
My day is going pretty well, I can say, but quite occupied these days as my children's exam is going on. That's the reason. And thank you so much for inviting me as the first guest on your YouTube. I'm so glad and
Yes,
excited to talk to you.
yes, ma'am. Actually, your confidence level intrigued me to invite you as my first guest for my very first for my very first conversation. And your confidence level really fascinates me, and that's why I approached you through mail.
That's so nice of you. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
ma'am, as we are meeting for the first time, let's begin with our formal introduction. Would you
Okay.
mind introducing yourself?
Yes, I'm no, I'm Mahalakshmi. I'm from Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore. I did my master's in engineering. I'm a mom of two kids. I was working before marriage and after marriage, and after being a mom, I'm a homemaker now. And meanwhile,
Mm.
while doing masters in engineering, I just burned midnight oil to get a government job, and I got it. And I was
Mhm.
serving there for almost 12 years. And due to my
Okay. Mm-hmm.
uh, family situation, I had to come out of it.
Okay, you have to quit it. Okay, but still you were doing job in a government bank.
Before, not now.
Yeah, not now. Yeah, yeah, you were doing. That's why I told that before you were
uh,
doing. So
is
people can manage it. What was the problem? Because I'm feeling
is
bad. It is
is
not easy
is
to get a job.
is
Mm-hmm.
we tried so many methods and nothing was worked well, so it is
Okay.
our final decision. Okay, I'm okay,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much happy, and I make my
Okay.
plate is full so that I don't get deviate from that thought. I am
Okay.
just occupying with all my desired works.
Okay. And what motivated you to create YouTube channel?
My daughter, she's the one who has been asking, shall we create a channel, and why don't you showcase your knowledge and talent to the outside worlds? You please
Okay.
don't be upset by thinking of your past journey, and be motivated to others,
Mm-hmm.
and be an example for others. She keeps on nudging me to start a YouTube channel.
How old is she?
She's 12 years old and she's in sixth standard,
Okay.
and she's very
Nice.
much pretty excited. And she keeps on asking me, when is your conversation is going to happen? I told her that today and by 11 o'clock. And she feels very much pretty, and she is even excited when compared to me.
Okay. Where is she right now? I think she has gone to school, right?
Is ma'am. She's in school, and she
Mm-hmm.
must be thinking of this conversation, I think, in her school.
Oh, that's that's nice. Even I do have one son and one daughter, and my son helps me because I'm not good at this using laptop or doing the editing things.
Okay.
So he helps me in these things, editing. I am also learning these days, and now I was
Okay.
not, yeah, I didn't know how to use laptop, but now I think no, I should also learn. So this is the first time I'm going to record my video through laptop,
Oh,
and he helped
okay. All
me how to
yourself.
do that.
Okay. My younger one, she doesn't know anything about this, but
Mm-hmm.
my elder one, as she is in sixth standard, she knows everything, and she gives me so many ideas. Amma will do some reels and will explain the words, meanings, and everything. We'll have a conversation, and she
Mm.
keeps on thinking, and she keeps on telling something. I don't know when it is going to happen.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And are you going to create the content related to English
Yes, ma'am. My channel is English Fluency. Mahalakshmi English Fluency.
fluency? Okay, okay,
Yes.
nice.
And I would like to ask you one thing. From where you got this much courage, this much confidence? What made you to get this level, ma'am?
I can say that, see, when it comes to learning this language and doing something, I had the burning desire. As you also mentioned, you were doing a job previously, you were a lecturer
Yes.
in an engineering college. Then later on, even you burned midnight oil and you got a job in a bank. So it's not easy task to leave that job after doing that much of hard work. But because of family, you thought that no, my family is my priority. That's why you left, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
when I got married and I became mother of two kids. It was not my cup of tea to do something for myself. But now my children, they both go to school. I thought that no, I should do something for myself as well. I want to become financially independent. I want to have some self identity. So that's the reason I tried to get a job in government. I qualified it in 2021, but
That's wonderful.
I didn't get job here. So my husband was telling me you shouldn't try to get a job in other districts because it would be difficult for to go and do the job. So that's why I started pondering that I have, if as I have the dream to become fluent in English since my college, then why shouldn't I give it a shot? Because
Okay.
I do have the smartphone. So it motivated me to learn this language. And as my children, they study in a convent school. So I thought that if I am not able to speak in English, I don't know much about English, then how can I teach them, right? So it motivated me. I started watching contents in English. I learned this language. Now it has become easy for me. And I was not confident like this way. Confidence comes with knowledge and practice, right?
Okay.
So in my initial days, I was also nervous. I also fumbled a lot. I could not speak with fluency. But it's been 2.5 years. I have been practicing spoken English. I listen to English contents. I read books. By reading books, also I got inspiration from so many authors,
Others.
successful people. Yeah, they say that everyone gets difficulties initially when we do something new. We feel discomfort, it is natural, but if you keep doing, if you have that burning desire to do that, then slowly and gradually it becomes spontaneous. I think it has happened to me now.
Okay. Yes, we can see that very well, ma'am. I can say that your consistency and perseverance made you to stand here. That burning desire that helps you a lot. Actually, I too got some criticism before certain years
Hmm.
for my English communication, for my English accent, and for my English words. But now I got appreciation from my neighbors, from my kids, and even from my husband. I feel really energetic, and it rehabilitates me. It revitalizes me, ma'am. It's
Okay,
because of
okay, great, great.
my
Hmm.
desire and my hard work. And even though I have so many works in home, I do all my works on my own. I spend
Okay.
my time not to see by reels, not to watch movie or series and all. I just have so many books with me, and I keep on learning, keep on writing something, and that made me to stand here.
Wonderful. That is the thing.
Thank you.
We just always complain and give the excuse that we don't have time, we don't have time. But it depends on us how we are using the time in a productive way. We can spend lots of time if we want to by watching reels, then Facebook, Instagram. Then we think that okay, I will watch only for 5 minutes, but we don't understand even we spend there for hours and hours, right? So that's the thing also I have done. I installed Instagram and I installed Facebook. I don't watch any kind of entertainment reels because it doesn't give me entertainment. I don't know why, but if I learn
Yes,
something new, I feel so happy. It
certainly,
gives me
ma'am. Actually,
happiness.
yes, you are just reading my words, my thoughts. Actually, I too feel the same, ma'am. If I finish reading a story, it would be very happy for me. And if I spend nearly 20 to 30 minutes by seeing reels, then I feel somewhat disheartening. I
Yes.
just
Guilty,
I
right?
just
I
buried
feel
my
guilty.
day by seeing is I do feel guilty. And I always insist my daughters also, please keep
Mm,
on reading something. Have a take a book and read on something. It sure for sure it will just energize you. You will come to know so many things just by reading, not only your pronunciation, fluency, but some things which is happening
mhm.
around. So
True.
I motivate them to read some books, ma'am, before
Yeah,
going to sleep.
definitely. Even I also do the same. I remember that when my son was 7 years old only, in that time I bought bedtime stories and the Panchatantra books, and I gave that gift to my son. And later on, I gave him the book, The Growth Diary of Good Kids. So there were 10 books together in a bundle I gave him. So one book is that how to be confident. Then another was parents are not my servants. So how to teach as a parents, how to teach the accountability of the children. They should take the responsibility of their own, right? Those are the things. So My son, he has the also habit to read books.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
it comes from you. Actually, our children, they don't do what we do. They just copy
Observe.
what we are
True.
doing.
Yes.
So we should be set as example for them. And if we see mobile and if we expect them to take a book and read it, it is not going to happen. So
Yes.
if you want to make your kids readable, and you have to take a book and start reading in front of them, then they will do it automatically, no need to utter even a word. They'll start reading a book. Yesterday, last night, I felt really happy because my younger one, she was
Mm.
reading something and she told me, "Amma, are you happy now? I have finished
Ah.
reading this book." She knew that I would be happy if she reads something. Knowing or
Mm.
unknowing, she started reading something and she told me, "Yes, I have finished reading this book." I felt really happy that time.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's even my daughter. She also every night she before going to sleep, she says that Mama, please tell me one story. And sometimes I tell, and sometimes I ask her that now it's your turn. You tell me today one story. And she tells the story in English.
Okay.
Do you talk to your daughter in English?
Yes,
Daughter
ma'am.
and
Sometimes in English, but
mm,
if she doesn't understand, she always asks me what is the meaning of that word with this word. How can we translate this in English? And
mm-hmm.
she observes everything. And sometimes I do talk with her in English, ma'am.
What about your elder daughter? Does she understand?
Yes, yes. Elder
She's
one, she is in
fluent.
sixth standard.
Sixth
She's somewhat
standard and think
fluent.
she understand and she's fluent as well, right?
Yes, yes. Even my
Mm.
younger one is she's fluent, and she
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
how to frame a sentence from a word. She's in
Mm-hmm.
LKG, but she knows how
Yeah,
to frame a
yes.
sentence from a word. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
is we can say that we can set them as example for our English learning.
Definitely. My son is in class 5 and he's fluent in English. My daughter is in class 1 and she is, I can say that, quite fluent in English. So if
Okay.
sometimes she doesn't know some words meaning and she asks me that, Mama, what does it call? And she makes some grammatical errors here and then, I just rectify that. But I can say that she is fluent because she is 6 years old.
I would like to ask you one thing, and what would be the advice for the housewives? How can they come
Mm.
out of their boundaries to reach their desires?
Mm.
Could
As
you
you have
throw
told,
some light on it, ma'am?
yeah, sure, sure. I would like to share something, whatever I feel from my own perspective and being also a homemaker. See, if someone is happy being a homemaker, spending time with family and doing the daily chores, it's fine because it is also not easy, right? It is not easy. We should respect all the women, irrespective of that,
Yes.
what they are doing in life. But if they have any dream that they want to do something for themselves and learning English, I think now we all should do it. Mostly the homemakers should learn English. Now if someone doesn't want to do any job, it's fine, but at least they can talk to their children, they can create the environment of speaking English. Later on their children will feel so comfortable talking in English, and mother will also feel confident while talking to the teachers in parent teacher meeting. They will be able to teach their own children. They don't need to send for the tuition. Even in the lower class, it's okay if they want to send them to the tuition in higher classes, ninth or 10th standard. However, they don't need to send to the tuition classes in lower class. I notice, I see in my places as well that they are graduate, but still because of this language barrier, they send their children from the class LKG. So
Oh,
though it's quite, I can say that, pressure to the children, they need to go for the tuition after coming from the school. Why? Because the mothers, they are not that much confident enough to teach their own children. So I would suggest that if you have the dream, please come out from your comfort zone, try to make a schedule that in this period I am going to do this house chores, or after that I will spend at least 2 hours every day for my own growth, for my
okay.
improvements. They can watch some good contents, and in this how they can definitely learn.
Yes,
And
correctly.
later on the appreciation they will get, it will make them feel like, content.
Correctly said, ma'am. Correctly said. It's okay if you can't do some brooming or mopping work. You can do it later, or you can do it tomorrow. First, concentrate on yourself and try to improvise yourself. Then you'll get so much confidence.
Yeah,
If we enhance our vocabulary, our communication skill, I don't know how, and it really groom up our face, and we get confidence as it is
yes.
naturally.
Yes, true, true, true. Exactly. And even though English is just a language, but I have realized that thing, if someone is confident and able to speak in English confidently, the society gives the respect to that person, right?
Is correct. Certainly, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I always ask my daughters also, you please, whatever it may be, try to learn some new vocabulary and try to find out the meaning of the vocabulary. While reading, you just don't leave the word and just
Mm,
go on. You try to
mm.
find the meaning of the word, then you go on. Later, if you come across that word, you'll come to know the meaning of that word without your consent.
Yes,
So
true,
she has
true.
a practice of doing that, and she has
Mm.
a little dictionary with her, and whenever she come across some new words, she asks me. Otherwise, she just look in a dictionary or some in mobile Google, and she comes to know the meaning of that word.
That's amazing. You are doing really great. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
That is the best way of learning vocabulary. It's quite difficult to retain the vocabulary. There are so many people they ask that how can we remember vocabulary for a long period of time? It takes time to recall. But when we learn any new vocabulary with meaning and pronunciation, later on when we listen to someone, the person is using that vocabulary when we read and watching contents. If we come through that vocabulary repeatedly, naturally it comes in our subconscious mind, and we are able to use that vocabulary, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And at times we should try to use it deliberately as well.
Yes, it happens for me also so many times, and I was not aware of so many words before, but now it's just a piece of cake for me. I can easily utter some advanced vocabulary while speaking with my daughters. They even ask me, "Amma, you did not use these words before some time, but from
Hmm.
where you got these words?" I really got appreciated
Yes.
from my daughters when I use new vocabularies.
Yeah,
And
I'm noticing that. Yeah.
is and if you have a practice of learning 5 vocabularies per day, it is not going to help. But if you
Mm-hmm.
learn one vocabulary per week, it is gonna be help you. Don't just
Okay.
concentrate on the number of vocabularies, but
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on the words, meanings, the sentence, the usage of that particular vocabulary. It is going
Mm-hmm.
to save in your subconscious mind, and it will come to you automatically when it is needed.
Yeah, rather than learning lots of vocabulary, but we are not able to use, and we don't know in which context we need to use, right? We should try
Yes.
to learn few vocabularies, but where we can use the pronunciation, meaning, we should try to learn it deeply.
Is we should know where to incorporate those words in our
Yes,
speech, and
yes.
how to articulate the particular word. It would give importance to that word, and the opponent will think what's the meaning of that. Like that, we should talk in that way, and we should not just deliberately use the words as we know. We have to know
Mm-hmm.
the usage of that word, and we have
Uses,
to
true.
use that word in our sentences.
Okay, but still, I would like to know that what are the tactics you are using, how you are learning vocabulary, what is your method?
Is whenever I come across some new
Hmm.
words, new vocabularies, I
Hmm.
just run to dictionary and I make a meaning in my
Okay.
language, in my mother tongue, and I
Hmm.
have a note to record it. And I
Mm-hmm.
keep on thinking that word for the day, and I keep on repeating that word. I just
Okay.
use that word while speaking with my daughters, and I explain them what is the meaning of that word. I make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I'm using that word at least 10 times in a day.
Okay, that deliberately you practice that you teach your daughter. That's a
Is
nice thing. When we teach someone, then we can remember that thing and we retain easily.
is
We can retain.
is
Yeah,
And I
that's
asked
nice.
her, "Do you remember the word which I taught you yesterday?" And I
Okay,
deliberately use
that is
that
really
word also tomorrow.
That's a great
So
thing.
like
Even I can
this,
also apply it with my son.
yes, I do have some notes, some note for maintaining the vocabulary from there. So while cooking or while boiling milk, I don't use mobile in kitchen. So while doing
Mhm.
those things, I just pondering, contemplating all the vocabularies in my note, and I have a note with me while cooking, and I just go through all the words, and I
Okay.
just repeating it by. And before going to sleep, I do have a habit of recalling all the new words, and I try
Oh.
to frame some sentences by using those words.
Do you write down those sentences or do you just recall and think in your mind only?
I just recall and think, but if I have some doubts, some queries, I
Okay.
just got up from the bed and I write that, and afterwards, tomorrow, I just rephrase it in correct grammar.
Oh my God. I can see that it is tangible on your face that how eager you are, how keen you are to learn this language, right? You
Yes,
are not
yes,
able to sleep as well if you are not able to frame the sentences or you think that no, I have a doubt about this vocabulary, how to learn, use in which context, then you again get up and again you write it down. Then only you are able to sleep, right?
yes. I just make a note of all the vocabularies, all the sentences. Then I can feel free, and I can sleep well. Otherwise, if I'm in perplexed mode, I could not sleep. I have to
Mm-hmm.
pen it down everything. I have to pen it down everything. Then I can get proper sleep.
That's the reason it is visible, the result. Now you are
Result.
using lots of vocabulary while speaking. The first one you use that serendipity. When we
Serendipity.
meet someone suddenly and we become so
Yes.
happy, then we use that serendipity. I also
Yes.
know because I also have jotted down many vocabulary in my notebook. But some of the tips today I have got from you, even though I talk to my children in English, but I was not using that method. Okay, whatever the vocabulary I have learned today, I'm going to share with my son, mostly with my
Yes.
son, that these are the new vocabulary I have learned, meaning of this vocabulary, these. So now you also frame some sentences. We do some activity. For example, with my son and daughter, let's play vocabulary game. So
Game.
if say one word, then my daughter is going to mention one another word using the last letter of that word, and
Oh,
then my son, he also uses one another word. So in this way we play. My
interesting.
daughter, she likes a lot.
Okay.
And you know, my daughter, she has the intention all the time, she tries to find out the T letter. Okay, for example,
Oh,
toast. Then again she is going to say again
tea.
trust, or any
Oh,
other word with only T last letter, so
tea.
that I get
Oh,
difficult to answer
amazing.
it.
She has that much caliber even now, even in this age. Very good. I really appreciate her.
And another activity we play, that is describing thing. For
Okay.
example, there is one thing in my room, the color is that, the size is that, but I'm not going to mention the name. Now she has to ponder, or my son has to ponder, okay, what is the thing it? And they will keep telling, okay, this is the this thing. And in this, how we practice this
Oh,
describing word game.
it's amazing, ma'am.
Yeah, so
And
now
if
being,
you is
yeah.
if you make your son to question you, they'll be very happy. They are very happy to question us. So I just give that chance to my daughter. You please ask me. You ask me the vocabulary which I taught you yesterday.
Yes, they also get the opportunity to teach you again, right? Okay,
Yes,
now
ma'am. To
teach me.
question me, especially not to teach. And she's fond of asking questions to others.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's great. So now, see, as you have asked me that what are the suggestion I can give to the homemakers. So these are the examples we both can give to our homemakers, all the women, that if you want to learn new things now it is not that much difficult. We can start learning with our children. In this, how we can also keep them stay away from watching TV, and we can spend quality time with our children. Simultaneously, we can learn, right? So it's
Yes,
a
of
best
course.
way. We don't need to find friends, or we don't need to find co-learners all the time. If we have children, we are blessed
Yes,
with our children. And
yes.
nowadays, most of the children, they study in English medium school, so they know how to speak in English. So we can just keep practicing with our children.
Yes, we have to keep on saying our desires, our determination, and they would get it automatically. And
Yes,
they also think they're in their mind that mom has some so many desires, so it's obvious, let me have someone something, and they will proceed for that.
definitely. And it becomes quite difficult to make any habit when they become adult or teenage. But if we
Yes,
try to make some habit since their childhood, then it becomes easy, right?
correctly
Effortless.
said, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
then now I have to hang up because I have another
Okay.
session. Yeah, yeah, at
Okay.
11:40. And I thoroughly enjoyed this session. Definitely, I hope that we'll meet on down the line
Okay, thank you
in the
so
near
much for
future.
your valuable time, ma'am, for your valuable information, guidance, and I look forward to meet you again after some days with more confidence, with
Sure.
my more confidence level. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.